Chris, you're better off calling one corner cam and one walkout cam because we're going to keep the cameras in the same place. Just because they're rigged specifically for each thing, that's all. Sam got a headset. Oh, I couldn't see. Just final text there, I couldn't see it. Not panicking, just checking. Hello. You can hear this, yeah. All right. I am joined here with Greg. Greg, how are you feeling about a big evening of tops here?
I can't wait. I'm so excited to put my invoice in. It's going to be epic. Woo! Come on.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll do it. I have to do it in camera. One sec. Sounding now, is that any better? Alright, cool, I'll leave it at that level. Because they're probably going to be talking really loud like this, aren't they? Because presenters have really loud voices. Do you want it a bit more down? Okay, one sec. Alright, that's down a couple more now. How are we sounding on that? Keep going down. Okay, one sec. Okay, that's another couple more down. How are we sounding on this level? Keep going down. Okay. Okay, I'm now on like there. Yeah, perfect. Yeah. All right, sweet. We'll stay on that. So, just for your reference, after each interview, because we're going to have to be careful on this power, it's about 3 hours is dead. It's that little one there.
Hello and a very warm welcome to Top Tiers, the Statement 2 show taking place here at the Brentwood Centre in Essex. We are live for our undercard on the Stomping Ground and live from 7 p.m. on DAZN. I am now joined by the Stomping Ground's very own Oscar Bevis to talk us through some of the fights that are coming up this evening. We've got plenty to look forward to. We've got an IBF European title fight. We've got a four-man knockout tournament with the semi-final and final both taking place tonight. And of course, plenty of mouth-watering 50-50s. Oscar, it's on the Stomping Ground again. How good is that?
Yeah, delighted. We've done a lot of work with Johnny. We're going from strength to strength, and Top Tier going from strength to strength. So I feel like merging the two together makes complete sense. I think we had 2 million views over the last 28 days. So the views that we'll bring to Top Tier and what Top Tier brings to us as well, it's a brilliant merge. And I know there's a storm outside, but it's the storm in the ring. We've been thinking about that one all night. It's a storm in the ring that's gonna be making noise tonight. I can't wait. It's a brilliant fight card, like you said. Yeah, bring it on.
Yeah, a brilliant fight card. Now, let's just go through it. So we've got that main event, which is a rematch. It's for the IBF European. Great to get that title on the line for this rematch. It was deserved, wasn't it, after the first one?
Yeah, it was. And the first fight was so good, we had to see it again. But I feel like there's so many unanswered questions, despite the fact that they shared so much in the ring the first time, Bent and Stelios. It's a brilliant fight. IBF European obviously brings that, I guess, a little bit of prestige to the fight, but they've got to forget about the IBF European for a minute, because what it's about is the fight first, then they can think about rankings and whatnot afterwards. I can't wait. It's a brilliant fight. I can't call it, and I guess that's what shows it. It's a brilliant fight as well. And
it was so close last time. Kind of a fight of two halves. Do you think it'll be similar this time, or do you think we're going to see something different?
I think we're going to see something completely different. I really like Ben. The 2 knockouts on his record, he punches harder than that. I really like Stelios. He's all action. We are going to see action and drama like we saw first time, but I feel like it's got to be different. You can't go into a rematch and fight the same fight. Ben won't even want to fight the same fight because, yes, he got the outcome he wanted the first time, but you know Stelios is coming with something different. Completely different fight, hopefully an even better fight, but definitely a good fight.
Definitely, and we've got to talk about the four-man knockout tournament that we've got. There was a knockout tournament in the very first Top Tier show. Hasn't been one since. It's back now. We got the winner, Ryan Maycock, of that tournament, coming back for this one. And it's just great. It's something different for the fighters. And I think a lot of people wanted to be involved in it.
Yeah. And do you know what? When you've got a knockout tournament, you don't have 6-rounders, 8-rounders, 10-rounders. So in the little amount of time you get in the ring, you know the boys in there giving absolutely everything. I don't like to pick and choose because I know the lads and I like the lads involved in the tournament. But I think Brandon Lewis, keep an eye out for Brandon Lewis. I've seen a lot of him at Josh Burnham's gym in Bushy. Really good, really talented. Ex-Hugo Boss model as well, so he's kind of got that bit of flair and that to match. I know he's mixed in some big circles, Anthony Joshua and some of the boys down at Finchley, so I think he would be my tournament favourite despite not having too much experience as a pro. I love it. It's just something about a tournament, and so interesting as well that because we don't know who's going to be in the final. And there'll be, I mean, the second fight of the night, they won't know who's going to be in the final from the first fight. You've got to think about damage control, and there's so much more than just the rounds in the ring to think about with something like the tournament. I love it. So good.
Yeah, and also there's, I'd say, 2 experienced fighters in the tournament, 2 inexperienced, but the inexperienced ones have probably just come straight from the amateurs, which is a similar setup to the tournament, the fact that they've got 3 3-minute rounds.
Yeah, that's a good point. This kind of is, I guess, a throwback to the amateur days. Sort of, we saw when Matchroom began with Prize Fighter. I know Boxer done the same sort of thing when they had their shows on BT Sport back in the day, and they've done a few on Sky Sports. Every time we've seen that format, it's always been a 10 out of 10 show. So to get that and that not just be the main purpose of tonight, to have brilliant fights around it, it's just so exciting.
Yeah, there is plenty of other 50-50 fights as well as those ones. Any in particular that stand out for you? Any that are getting you excited?
Konstantin Ursa and Lewis Booth, eliminator for the British and the Commonwealth. And I know Harry Scarf's got the British at welterweight at the moment, but I believe it will probably be looking at other things. So potentially there is a route. I know politics can get in the way, but there is a route for the winner, genuinely, to move straight on to a British title shot. And when you've got something like that in waiting again, you're not going to find anyone wanting in the ring. I know Konstantin's a bit of a top-tier favourite, but Lewis Booth is a very, very good fighter as well, very talented fighter. Love that fight. I think that's fight of the night for me. But then again, that tournament final, we don't even know who's going to be in it, but you just know that to win that tournament over a short amount of rounds as well. Tournament final and Constantine Ursu Lewis Booth, the fights of the night for me.
I do have to mention also Lily Winch, who's high up on the card. Due to the amount of tickets that she sells, it was absolutely... I mean, the decibels raced through the roof last time she was fighting here, and we expect the same again today.
Yeah, it says a lot when you can do tickets beyond your debut. Everyone wants to come and see a professional debut, right? So you might shift a few hundred tickets, and that's how things work. To do it again, and then do it again, just shows that you haven't just engaged people first time, but you've engaged people in that early section of your career. And as you keep putting in performances and delivering good nights as well, you've got to think the decibels, like you said in there last time, it's going to make people want to come back because it feels a bit like a party atmosphere. Really good fighter as well from that Leon Sudbury stable, building something really special, Leon, and a lot of the local Essex fighters. You could just see from looking at her Instagram the circles that she's mixed in. I've heard really good things about her in sparring as well. I know she travels a lot up and down the country. She is really, really exciting, and a win to cap off the year. I think she could be in for a really interesting 2025 because we know the female pool of talent is not as deep, so the fighters can move pretty quickly. I think her 2025 is going to be huge.
Definitely. And just the final word for Johnny Clark, and obviously this is the final show of 2024. Do you think this is the biggest one yet?
I think it's got to be. It's the rematch. Rematches bring something special. It brings something different. The statement too. I know he's named all of his shows. I think the statement is the best yet. So to get the statement too, Johnny's had such a good year. You look at the production levels. I've done some of the biggest shows in the world, from Riyadh season to some of your small hall shows in front of 200 people. To make what you would call here small hall boxing feel like big time boxing is a real achievement. I mean, just things as simple as the branding. We love the fights. Things as simple as the branding. I mean, look at the ring walk that the fighters are going to make. Not often do fighters at this stage of their career on these shows get to make a ring walk that makes them feel like a superstar. Johnny's gone about it the right way with Top Tier, and that's why 2025 is going to be another year that Johnny's going to smash. And hopefully Johnny, wherever he is, on the Stomping Ground again, maybe?
He's listening, he's sat over there.
He just shook his head.
Yeah, because that is a good point. You know, the build-up to the fight night, they've got the media day a few weeks ago, and everything that they have, you know, the promo videos, it is different, and it makes fighters want to be on the show as well. Yeah, you've got to make fighters feel special. And I know sometimes fighters can take it for granted a little bit because, you know, you're in fight mode and perhaps not eating, perhaps a little bit... Not wanting to speak to people in the media. Not really wanting to speak to people, yeah, and obviously it helps raise fighters' profiles, but you've got to enjoy it as well. You've got to think, many a fighter could end their career by having 15, 16, 17, 18 fights. So being interviewed, something to be cherished. Like, there'll be a day where perhaps people don't want to interview you and you'll look back and be like, I wish I cherished it. So I know from speaking to the fighters, they do enjoy the media days, even if sometimes they can be a little bit offish in camp. But if you make a fighter feel special as well, they're going to want to come back and they're going to want to give 100%. And that's why, again, I think the top tier shows, we've always had all action. Definitely. Well, I think the fighters are about ready to get underway. So before I hand you over to your commentary team this evening of Alex Steedman and Barry Jones, I am going to hand you over to your MC for this evening, MC Huss.
I got a lot of cash. On that beat. Oh. I don't mind spending it. Yeah. Do you like the way I flick my tongue or no? Oh no. You can ride my face until you're dripping cum. Can you lick the tip then throw the dick or no? Can you let me stretch that pussy out or no? I'm not the type to call you back tomorrow, but the way you wrapping around me is a problem. Ain't nobody trying to save you. Baby, get that paper. Probably got a lot of other bitches.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live on the DAZN and Stomping Ground YouTube channel. Welcome to the Brentwood Centre here in Essex, England, United Kingdom, for a night of professional championship boxing. The Statement #2, brought to you by Johnny Clark of Top Tier Boxing. Tonight's action is sanctioned by the British Boxing Board of Control. Your area representative, Alan Spelling, and your inspectors ringside, Paul Ball Cupid, and Gurjit Chana. And now, ladies and gentlemen, time for our first bout of the evening, scheduled for 3-minute rounds in the super middleweight division. And now, please welcome to the ring, Josh Cook.
Would you take a bullet? Would you buy the gun? I fall onto my knees, and yes, the war's already won. So please don't take me for no fool. Spend a lifetime in your shoes. Now
everybody, hope you're well. Looking forward to tonight's extravaganza. Through the fire. Josh Cook, the first of our fighters making his way to the ring. The Heartman from Manchester, who is often busy and usually pretty tough to budge as well. He is not from 19 over the last year and a half, but he hasn't been stopped in more than 3 years. Difficult to budge, usually gives his opponent some rounds exactly what it says on the tin, exactly what his job description also relays, and he will be fitting it up to Grant Dennis shortly.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome his opponent to the ring, Grant Dennis.
Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel.
Grant Dennis ready for a pre-Christmas ring walk, and an opportunity for him to get back to winning ways after a tough stretch where he's been in against the prospects and the up-and-comers, the likes of James Osborne, who's in our super middleweight tournament a bit later on. He was a late notice opponent against Mark Dickinson. He's been in with Kevin Jarko as well last year, so it's a very different opponent for him tonight. A winnable fight and an opportunity for him to get his career back on track, and he's always in great shape. An advert for how life can look at the age of 40 or so.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout is scheduled for 4 3-minute rounds in the super middleweight division. This bout is brought to you by Johnny Clark of Top Tier Boxing and sponsored by Insulation, Synergy Direct, Triple Solar, and Next Gen Entertainment. This bout is sanctioned by the British Boxing Board of Control. Your area representative, Alan Spelling, and your timekeeper at the bell, Mark Shannon, and your third man in the ring in charge of the action, A-star referee, John Latham. And now, ladies and gentlemen, introducing to you first, fighting out of the red corner. He's wearing the black and red. His official weight of 11 stones, 12 pounds. He is a veteran of 48 fights, hailing from Manchester, England, United Kingdom. Introducing Josh Cook. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner. He's wearing the blue trunks. His official weight of 12 stones, bang on. He has a record of 26 fights, 8 losses, 18 wins, and 3 of those wins coming by way of knockout. Hailing from Chatham, Kent, England, United Kingdom. Introducing Grant, the Go-Getter Dennis.
Right, what you expect from you both, your obeying instructions at all times. When I tell you to break, you both quickly defend yourselves at all times. The best luck to you both. Touch gloves.
Here we go then, first of our fights tonight. Grant Dennis with an opportunity to resume winning ways against Josh Cook. Always a tough, reliable opponent in the other corner, Josh Cook, and immediately Dennis settles behind a busy jab. He's been in pretty tough, pretty deep against the prospects and the up-and-comers recently. Very different kind of setup for him tonight, Barry. It'll be interesting to see how he goes about it.
Yeah, let's be honest, Alex, he was due a relatively easier fight, wasn't he? Because, like you said, he's been in with some real top contenders and really good prospects, and he's always had it quite tough throughout his career. With Grant Dennis, this is a fight that he should win, quite comfortable, but still, he's still got to do the job, and it's good to get him back in the ring, get those rounds under his belt, get that that W in the column, and then he can move back on from there.
Always a good time, I think, for fighters, for boxers, just before Christmas. But it's a unique time of year, isn't it, for having to dedicate yourself to the sport while all of that kind of social is ongoing around you.
Well, when you're a boxer, you're self-employed, and like anyone who's self-employed, to have that guaranteed money in the bank, whether it comes before Christmas or just after, these guys will surely get paid tonight, then it's a real bonus. Just know you can relax for the holiday, enjoy yourself, and more importantly, the bills are paid, and then you haven't got to worry about work until next year.
I like the way that Dennis has started this, is a business-like, positive approach from him.
And he's just taking a different angle, isn't he? When he throws the shots, he's just stepping around to the right, just taking away that right hand there of Cook and allowing him just to work away also.
It would have been quite easy to come in tonight just thinking, right, this is a fight I should win, will win, and maybe not come in with the right kind of mindset, but he's been positive, quite aggressive right from the start. He's finding a few angles for those shots. Lovely little left hand there as he dipped down to his right. The jab's been good. Nice busy start this in the opening round from Dennis.
Yeah, and like he always is, he's got nice fluid movements to his style, hasn't he, Dennis? Good reactions. Just a few seconds ago, through a lovely jab and then through the right hand over the top. Just feinted with the jab to the body, then committed to that right hand. It was a good little move. Slip in there, good head movement as well there from Dennis.
Pretty good defences though, as you'd expect from Cook. You see that right glove angled against his jaw just to cushion any shots that were coming his way. He knows his way around this boxing ring for sure.
You just see the turn of the shoulder there from Cook. It just blocks off half the target there for Grant to aim for. It just makes pretty much you can only work with the one hand then. It's good work there from Dennis again. Nice fast loose punches.
Fast hands and spinning from different angles as well. A little bit of acceleration in the attack there from Dennis. It's been a good opening round for him. Exactly the kind of attitude I think that his team and his supporters would like to see. And I think that's an important word, really, at this stage of his career for Dennis. Attitude, I think.
Yeah, he's not on borrowed time, but at his age, let's be realistic. Even though there's loads of miles on the clock, he's always at a stage where the next fight might be his last. With injuries, with training, you get older, they don't go away. So you have to box for the freedom, and I think he's doing that right now. And the thing is, he's not a big puncher, never has been, but he has been up against good opposition. So you never know, he might punch harder than what his record suggests. But he's always had a nice loose style. I think that's why he's been having more longevity in his career, why he can box later into his life, because he is nice and loose and relaxed, doesn't load up, which means the injuries are less likely to happen.
He always looks in great nick. I think he's always well prepared, Dennis. As you can see, at the age of 41 now, and a really good start to this one. Into the second round then. And with Cook, he's going to look after himself. He's well prepared. His defences are sound and solid. So you're going to have to work to get past those, to get past him.
But also you've got to be realistic about what you can do as well. There's no doubt that Dennis can outbox him, but to look for the stoppage against a guy who's only been stopped once in 47 fights or whatever it is 48 fights, is a bit of a stretch. So, you've got to think, just do what I do well. And that's what he's doing. Again, nice and relaxed. The jab's good for him. No sneaky right hands. The ring generalship as well. He's cutting the ring off. There's nothing coming back, so he can do what he wants to do. But he's doing what he wants to do, and that's the important thing.
And I like those follow-up attacks from Dennis. Those moments when Cook is able to ride the attacks, just with the angle of his gloves or his shoulders, he's just able to deflect some of the power. But there is a kind of follow-up, some sneaky little angles, maybe the third or the fourth punches from Dennis, just to make sure that he's putting in some scoring shots.
And also, these are the fights where you get a chance to practice the things you've been doing in the gym, things that you might not want to risk in a real competitive fight, which, let's be honest, Dennis is almost always in competitive fights against guys who are maybe favoured to win. And even when he gets to win, you know, that's the sort of fight that he's always been, never afraid of a challenge. But in fights like this, he can practice a few things and enjoy himself a little bit.
And just in a general sense, Barry, a fighter who's around 40, you know, struggled a bit against the prospects recently. What's the mindset, just in general terms, for someone, say, at this stage of his career? Is it you hope for one opportunity, maybe say like the super middleweight tourney that's on tonight, you just hope for an opportunity, you keep taking over, maybe win, and hope you get one last chance? What's the mindset?
I think it is pretty much that, because, you know, he's been at the stage where maybe he could have slipped into being a journeyman and got more work, because he's a clever fighter who could be very, very protective, defensively sound if he wanted to be. But he didn't want to do that, and I admire that. I don't belittle people or begrudge him for wanting to be a journeyman. That you choose your own path. But he wants to be in competitive fights. He wants to always try to win fights. So there is that. I think he just hopes he maybe gets a shot at another sort of title, whatever it is, from regional to English to British, whatever it may be. You know, a Masters title, whatever there is around, he'll take what he can get. But I think he'd just like to get one over the line, and that would be enough for him, maybe. And also, while he can still earn and he's fit and he's ready, and boxing's, as we know, one of the most addictive drugs you can do and you can find. So, you know, you want to be involved in it continuously.
Nice little moment, nice smile between them at the end of that. The busy finish, wasn't it, from Dennis? A couple of little fast flurries as well, racking up the points and looking pretty good doing it.
See here, just again a nice fluent work of Dennis, nothing heavy, not loading up on shots. He's a guy who's very, very hard to stop. Again, as you said, Alex, finding the angles, shifting the feet after the first phase of attacks, and boxing very nicely at the moment.
I mentioned the super middleweight tourney. Of course, James Osborne is involved in that a bit later on. We've got the unbeaten Brandon Lewis finally getting his chance. He's up against James Osborne. Osborne beat Grant Dennis. What was that, earlier on this year? That was a big step up for Osborne. He was only 4-0 or something like that at the time. That was a big step up against an experienced operator like Dennis. He beat Dennis. But, you know, tonight's tourney, theoretically Dennis could have been involved in that. So that's coming up a bit later on. We've also got John Marvin, the British-based fighter who represented the Philippines in tournaments worldwide. He makes his awaited professional debut in the other semi-final of that against Ryan Maycock. That's coming up in just a few fights' time. Really looking forward to seeing Marvin and what he can do. Back to business here as we move into the third.
It's better there from Dennis, just a little feint before he threw. He did that in the first round, sort of neglected it in the last round, but that would be better for him to break those defences just by little subtle movements, little feints, hooking off the jab, just a little bit more variety.
And what is against these experienced journeymen like Josh Cook, what's the key maybe to just inducing a bit of panic or maybe even hurting them?
Well, I think it's a surprise attacks, because, you know, punches down the line, the way they're set up, they're prepared for that. You just see Cook, he'll turn his body to the side, he'll sit a little bit on the back foot. He sort of gives you the target to sit on the front foot, then we'll immediately go into the back foot there, you know, to sort of take the sting out of your shot and turn the body as well. So it's getting the right angle, the surprise attacks, so plenty of feints will help you with that. And then after you feint, you throw, you move your feet, and throw again. Unless you have raw power, then you can just bust through him, of course. But
or as we just saw very briefly, in the rare times that maybe Josh Cook is going to lead off and try and throw first, actually Dennis immediately countered him there with the right hand, didn't he, in that little exchange?
Again, feints will do that. Those feints will potentially draw the lead or disguise your attack.
Good jab again there from Dennis. Excellent approach from him tonight.
Just dropping the hands there, just trying to maybe again encourage Cook to let his hands go. But again, talking about experience with Dennis, the experience that Cook has, he won't engage unless he wants to, and that's a rarity in itself.
Cook manages to wriggle away from that exchange. Towards the end of this third, approaching halfway. Getting plenty of scoring shots from Grant Dennis. In a fight he is supposed to win, but as ever in these fights, it's how you do it, and importantly how you go about it that is the key, and you got to appreciate the way that he's doing that. I mean, he's lost 5 of his last 6 against those up and comers. He had a good first few rounds against the Jarko, didn't he, last year? But Jarko, a talented Irish fighter, really is starting to make his way up towards the title level. No disgrace in losing that one.
But let's be realistic. Fights like this are no good for Dennis and his experience. People like Cook, people who are the debutants or a couple of fights, just to give them the experience of being in a live atmosphere, or when their opponents are pulled out, you come and take their place. So, you know, he's a valuable part of the boxing community as Cook. But someone like Dennis, it's not really a fight that he'll learn anything from, except he maybe just needs that win in the column to maybe get another title shot, maybe in English or something like that. You just say, listen, if you get another win back, then we'll get you back into something, another 10-rounder.
I think it's very understanding management and matchmaking and promotion, isn't it? In truth, because he could have been dished up to another 4-0, 5-0, 6-0, 8-0 prospect,
and then he just become that thing that clearly he doesn't want to be, a journeyman. So yeah, because he's better than that, and he's shown us that. So I think that's probably what it is. He gets the win, and we'll see him out sometime early next year in some sort of a eliminator or title shot of whatever level that is. Who knows? But it'll be something of that 10-round distance, I think.
That was a lovely shot. That was a lovely shot. There was a feint, then he just dipped, avoided the jab of Josh Cook, and then he whipped over a looping right hand. That was a lovely little cameo there from Grant Dennis.
That's lovely again, isn't it? There, just a little pause for us through that right hand. That's very important, that is, and that's good for any young prospects watching about not rushing your work. That's the perfect example there. What Dennis did, he threw a 1-2. There was speed in both shots, but there was just a little pause between the one shot and the next, and that just made sure he hit the target clean. Nice head movement there again there from Dennis, enjoying himself.
He is enjoying himself, big smile. A little couple of words as well. I wonder if that long body of Cook might be inviting it at some stage in the second half of this fight.
Again there, good on the clinch there again, Dennis. Again, there's nothing on the shots, but they're nice, fast, clean shots.
There's some oohs and ahs from the crowd. I think they enjoyed that little counter uppercut that came in with the left hand there from Dennis, who's on his toes, looking sharp and fast and thoroughly and enjoying himself. And as Barry said, an opportunity tonight to go through the repertoire, to try a few things. And that counter right hand again has worked well in this round.
Good there. I don't think it hurt Cook, but just knocked him off balance a little bit. The surprise of the shot there from Dennis. And again, he's been able to express himself, haven't he, tonight? And that's been good. It's been good to see.
The defensive angles of Cook are really clever, aren't they? He makes the target is a very slight one.
Well, he sets his stall up, doesn't give you much, and then as you try and be more offensive, he just takes it away more and more until he gives you no target to hit at all. But the footwork of Dennis have been good. He's finding the angles.
Good round for him. Good round for him.
nice little 4-rounder to get under his belt.
Yeah, very much so. Very much so, and I just love the way he went about that tonight. Listen, it was, I suppose, in sporting terms, it was a gimme tonight, wasn't it?
Of course it was.
But it's the way he went about it. I loved his approach and his attitude.
And also, we said that, and people's hard to understand this actually in the industry, because you can criticise these fights, why do they happen? And I do understand that, but I mean, he's always in competitive fights. He's always in fights with his back's against the wall, and his career, you'll see how hard his career's been. He's a better fighter than what his record suggests. Though 18 wins, out of 26 fights is a good record. But I mean, I think he's better than that. But this is a fight here, for the first time for a long time, he's been able to not worry about anything, just be able to enjoy himself, and that's been good to see. I thought he boxed really well tonight.
Gentlemen, after 4 rounds of boxing, we go to the referee scorecard. Referee John Latham scores the bout 40-36. And your winner, Grant the Go-Getter Dennis.
Birds flying high, you know how I feel.
To winning. Oh, that's what it's all about. And now he can have a good Christmas with his family and think about maybe one last run in 2025.
I think that's important. He's having a win here now, and he's going to enjoy himself, express himself, show the skills that he clearly has. We know he has. We know to show it now. And now he'll go have a bit of money before Christmas, and more importantly, a little break. Mentally a positive attitude going back into his next contest.
And it'd be really interesting as we join Ali. It'd be interesting to see what he believes the final chapter looks like. Let's hear from him with Ali.
Round, you are back to winning ways. Yeah. How did it feel in there tonight? It's been a while since you've done a 4-rounder.
Yeah, it has been a while since I've done a 4-rounder. I needed to come back, get a win, and listen, no delusions. I'll come here to win. Everyone probably thought I was going to win, but now it's back on to bigger and better things, back down to middleweight, challenging for titles, and I've got a lot of belief in my ability, and 2025 is going to be a massive year for me, man.
Was the main purpose to get a win under your belt, get back to winning ways, with the intention of getting the bigger fights next year?
Well, that's it, just get the win, get the green little thing on my box rack, and listen, I've been in this game a while now, and I know I needed that. I need to get some cobwebs off. There's been back-to-back hard fights for me, but I put myself up there at that level to fight for and contend at that level, at the top level. Otherwise, I wouldn't do it. If I didn't believe that I could be up there with the best of the fighters, I wouldn't do this no more, and I'll do something else in my life.
What have you got your eye on in particular for next year?
Sorry?
What have you got your eye on in particular?
Just titles, good fights, good domestic clashes, back down at middleweight. Whoever's got a belt, whoever Lee and can match me with, good fights, big shows. I love to be on Johnny Clark shows. These top tier shows are amazing, and just the good fights, man. I want to get my teeth stuck into any middleweight that wants it next year. 2025, it's going to be a big year for Grant Go-Getter Dennis, trust me.
Well, great to have you back on the show. Well done.
Thank you very much. Thank you for everyone coming. Thanks to everyone coming, and big 2025 next year, man. Thank you to all my supporters. Bless.
Well done to Grant Dennis. Very realistic, but positive, I think, the words there. Looking ahead to next year. And maybe coming back down to middleweight as well, Barry. That was something that he mentioned. I suppose we can talk about as well. That might well suit him going forward into next season.
Yeah, I think so. I think, obviously with age, you start to fill out a little bit more, so make the super middleweight a bit of an easier task for him. But I think if he wants to be competitive, really, because of his lack of power, but also because he has a lot of good skills, he has fast hands and fast feet, I do think that middleweight is a better weight for him. A much better weight for him, where he can be more competitive. And again, I don't know what sort of title I'm talking about, but I think on his day, he's good enough to pick one up. I think he is. I think he gets the right opponent. One of those international titles. I think he can win one. I think he has. You've seen tonight some of the shot picking he can do, the hand speed, the foot speed he has, the angles that he can produce. When he's allowed to relax a little bit, and he's just been chucked in the fire a little bit too much. I think throughout his career, where he's had he's been up against some really good operators, or young guys who are full of zest. and they've been shorter distances for a guy who really is, in my opinion, he's an 8-10 round fighter. I think he's an 8 round fighter minimum, I think, to show his full array of skills. So the longer the distance for him against younger guys, prospects, the better he's going to produce. So when he's chucked in 4 rounds or 6 rounds against competitive kids, young kids undefeated, he's always going to find it hard in his first couple of rounds to get going.
I think that's fair. I think that's absolutely fair. So he can go and rest, enjoy some time with his friends and family over Christmas. I'm pretty sure he'll still be in the gym. He's that kind of guy. But back and looking forward to maybe getting a chance, getting an opportunity at middleweight and having one final run at the age of 41. Young man who's at the other end of that particular journey is Louis Odori, the 24-year-old. I mean, he is in Fight of the Year contenders all over the place. He's up next.
Now it's time for our next bout of the evening, scheduled 6 3-minute rounds in the lightweight division. And now, please welcome to the ring, Ramiro Garcia.
Ramiro Garcia makes his way to the ring, the 52-year-old Mexican, with more losses than wins, but he has got wins on his record, but he's never been stopped, and that's one of the keys, and he's fit and busy. This is 13th appearance, I should say, of 2024. He has been so busy. Already out a few times in November, busy throughout October as well, so fighting more than once a month, and he's never been stopped. And that is one of the stories in the subplots for this one.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome his opponent to the ring, Louis Odori.
Oh yes, indeed, Louis Odori, about to make his way to the ring, and sights lowered a little for Odori, and he probably deserves that, because he has been into small hall show Fight of the Year contenders in each of his last 2 fights. In February he was in a cracker against Marley Mason, who's been on some of these top tier shoes, and last time out against Jeff Odori he was in another humdinger. He doesn't have that kind of opponent tonight, but what a style this guy's got.
Rounds in the lightweight division. This bout is brought to you by Johnny Clark of Top Tier Boxing and sponsored by Insulation, Synergy Direct, Triple Solar, and Next Gen Entertainment. This bout is sanctioned by the British Boxing Board of Control. Your area representative, Alan Spelling. Your timekeeper at the bell, Mark Shannon. And your third man in the ring in charge of the action, referee Kevin McIntyre. And now, ladies and gentlemen, introducing to you first, fighting out of the red corner. He's wearing the white with gold trim. His official weight of 10 stones, 3 pounds. He has a record of 26 fights, 16 losses, 8 wins, and 7 of those wins coming by way of knockout. Hailing from Guadalajara, Jalisco, Mexico, Ramiro Garcia. And introducing to you his opponent, fighting out of the blue corner. He's wearing the black trunks. His official weight of 10 stones, 2 pounds. He is currently undefeated with 7 wins, and 2 of those wins coming by way of knockout. Hailing from Halstead, Essex, England, United Kingdom. Introducing Louis Odori.
Right, lads, you both know the rules, so let's keep it clean. Obey my commands at all time. Defend yourselves at all time. Touch gloves, let's go to town.
Not one but 2 former British champions in that ring. Josh Whale, who's just made his way out. He's a British bantamweight champion. He's in the corner of Ramiro Garcia. And the man in the middle tonight, as you look at the records there of Odori and Garcia, is former welterweight champion of Britain. And that is Kevin McIntyre. And of course, Odori himself will be dreaming that one day he can rise to those heights. And I tell you, Barry, this guy's been in a couple of cracking fights his last two, but he just needs to be careful. His sights have been lowered tonight in terms of the opposition, but this guy, if he's on it, he can bang and he can dent the prospects. He's shown that a couple of times in the last few months.
Yeah, he has, and he's deceiving as well, Garcia, because he's a rhythm puncher, so it looks like there's not a lot on it, but he turns his body naturally into shot, so it looks like he's just swinging his arm, but he turns into it lovely. It doesn't like it's mega fast, but the time is good on the shot, so it's how you find Garcia. If he fancies it tonight, it's going to be a hard night here for Odori.
Yeah, you just got to be careful. Odori's style is very much front foot aggression. He's terrific to watch. He has he's strong and powerful. He's kind of outwilled, outlasted, and outstrengthed, outpunched each of his last two rivals, but in hard fights. So this just potentially this could be intriguing. He's got to be switched on tonight.
If he's working on the jab here, Odori, just one little thing that when he leans, just be careful when he leans back. A few seconds ago, he threw a jab and he blocked the shot with his right forearm, and then threw again. And he's better slipping punches going forward. Just see him there leaning back against a smooth left hooker like Garcia. You know, be careful you don't lean onto and sort of put yourself in the shot window for the shot.
Nice jab, lovely strong jab through the guard there. Garcia himself has looked for that left hook a couple of times. So might be something for us to keep an eye on.
And that's where you've got to slide inside it. So I think someone like Odori, once he get the pressure on, even though he's quite rigid in his back, you can slip punches coming forward. Use your forearms and the gloves to block the shots, and also just try and get inside the punches rather than lean back away from them.
I think he nearly hurt Garcia with a little short right hand in the exchange before. His jab is looking powerful.
Yeah.
It's just rocking Garcia back onto his heels, and that's a heavy punch.
Yeah, good pressure here from Odori. Several things that you've got to be aware of, but he's boxing really patient, I think. It's a good shot.
Right hand.
Turns the shoulder there, Garcia, but Odori, to counteract that, he's just lifting the elbow up and chopping down with that right hand. Just going over the top of the elbow, the shoulder.
Whether he fancies it or not, Garcia's being forced to fight tonight. And there's the left hook.
Yeah, that was more to do with Odori than Garcia. Odori not really rolling in, just dipped his legs and jumped up.
Well, we said, Barry, about whether Garcia fancies it or not tonight. I think for self-preservation, he's going to have to fight.
Yeah. Oh, good shot there from Odori. He felt that, Garcia.
And Garcia came back with a left hook. It is bubbling, isn't it? Simmering after the first 3 minutes. Well, that's what Odori does. He makes you fight, and he's usually in good fights. And with Garcia, last month he punctured the hopes of 18-1 Hamid Gaz. The month before that, the unbeaten Mohamed Subhan, who was 7-0, that was in October. So he's got the capabilities to spring a surprise against the prospects. Tonight he's going to have to fight his way out.
Yeah, and I was just going to say, he's been suffocated with pressure, but he hasn't been. I think he's been really. I think the pressure from Odori has been clever, but he looks like he's not clever, but he's straight back. His back's pretty straight, and he comes at you with a high guard. But actually, he's been patient with it. He hasn't been rushing his work. He's been rolling behind the jab and stealing your space. I think he's doing a good first round there for the youngster.
Yeah, great for us to watch too. And while he was applying that pressure, he is leaning back a little upright, but he is also just retreating to a slightly safer space, and that's kind of drawing the leads from Garcia and creating then a counter-punching opportunity for himself. And that little sort of step back right hand has worked quite well for him.
I just think, good shot there from Odori, lovely left hook. I just think it's about the future, I think, and the habits that become ingrained in your style. And I think that you take a step back, but if you take a big step back and take your body with it, which is not a bad thing. It means you can push back to get a counter attack. You've got to dip your legs a bit and get a little bit lower and a little bit more side on as well, to side on for him to his right hand side a little bit more, and that'll make you a little bit more defensive with it. If you're just going back straight, you're still going to be attacking the hits. Good shot though.
Yeah, I'm a great believer in that, picking up good habits and also just ironing out the bad ones.
Yeah. Well, habits, once they're in you, they're hard to get rid of. I mean, but he's doing a lot of good stuff here, Odori.
Yeah, I like his style, love his style.
And plus what you said, I think he's going to make Garcia have to fight himself. just to stay in, not stay in the fight, be competitive, just stay on his feet.
I think also with his kind of dimensions, Barry, you know, he's broad-shouldered. He wouldn't be tall or big for a lightweight. He's strong and he's got width as a lightweight. So I think you the way he fights, you can afford to fight a little bit lower.
Yeah. Well, if you're short for the weight, you can't getting lower is always a plus. Good shot, nice one, lovely one through there from Odori. Boxing really well at the minute, patient with his work, but always maintaining that pressure on Garcia. That's good. There you go. He blocked the shots. Good body shot there though from Garcia.
And a right hand, yeah, it was. Lovely 3-punch combination. Is a bit more spite and resistance from Garcia. And he's fighting back. Every punch that comes his way, he's throwing a couple of his own this round. He's trying to meet far with far. There was a nice right hand, and there's a heavy jab coming in for Odori, but Garcia trying to respond.
Odori's got really good timing with the 1-2. It's right down the line. And it's not super fast, but the timing on it means he very rarely misses with that second shot with the right hand.
Another body shot there from Garcia. This time it was a left hook whipped in. And there's a couple back, and the heavier shots coming in from Odori. It really is starting to just snap and crackle, this one. Starting to fizz a little bit in the second round. Well, if we wondered if Garcia was going to be on it, Odori is making him produce that answer.
Oh, lovely jabs there from Odori. That's the shot for him so far tonight. Pushing Garcia back, loading up with every. That's a good right hand as well there. Boxing really well.
And again the right hand. He's very composed in the pocket, Odori, isn't he? I think if he can just find a little more kind of defensive craft in those pockets, he could really evolve into a tasty little fighter.
I think so. I think he's done nothing wrong so far. I was sort of half criticising him, but I mean, you see the potential in him, so you're already thinking about things he can do better to make himself even better fighter. I think he's strong, he's solid, his work's really good. His jabs are a fantastic weapon for him. But if he can start slipping inside the punches, that gives it, and go a bit low. When you get lower, you get a better vision of the body of the target. It opens up a whole new world for you. And I think with someone like him, if you work in the body more than punching up through the middle, and then also if you're allowed to get his feet and to move around the target to get it on the blind side of Garcia or a future opponent and work away there and be far more effective.
I think for any young prospect, the balance between finding your own style and playing and working to your strengths, I think that's really tough for any young fighter coming through, to find that balance, to discover who you are as a boxer and as a fighter.
But ultimately, you've got to do what you do best to win a fight. That's the first and foremost. And then, depending on how comfortable the fight is for you, sometimes people are not afforded that, then you try and pick up things that you've done in the gym, extra add-ons, and you work from there. But ultimately, things have to be instinctive. So the more you do it in the gym, the more naturally instinctive those things become.
He's picked up the pace at the start of this round, Garcia. Just a little more speed on his shots and on his attack. He's just trying all that he knows to just change things his way.
Well, good shot there again from Odori. Lovely left hook. Well, you tend to think, listen, you've got a guy who's coming forward. If you can push him back, that gives you a respite. He's not going to be as effective.
Oh, that's nice. Little dip. Weave, defensively cute in that exchange, Odori.
I tell you what's really impressive is his timing. Again, I don't think he hasn't got the fastest hands, so they're not slow. Again, the jab there, it looks like a fast jab. I just think it's the timing is impeccable. Just see it there, you make Garcia miss, comes back straight away.
Counter jab, yeah, very clever, very neat. First got the boxing bug, courtesy of his dad Eddie, big brother James. The lace on the gloves behind the sofa when they were kids several moons ago, and thus the journey started.
He was just up close there, Odori. That's good from Garcia though. Nice little response there. Just neglecting the body a little bit here, Odori.
Oh, lovely whipped in right hand. He picked up the tempo on that one.
He's there now. That's where he should be wrapping that left hook through the middle.
Just got to be that uppercut. I wonder if he nearly got a reaction there, Garcia, but that's a dangerous shot.
I think it's a shot that Odori should be throwing, actually. When he's in close there, he's ripping up through the middle and then whipping across the body.
Yeah, especially as a slightly shorter man against a slightly taller opponent. When they're in close in those exchanges, that could work. See them both trying to find the angle.
Yeah, a little bit ahead with one there from Garcia. He just didn't do anything after it.
It's kind of high stakes poker and chess, isn't it? Sometimes in those exchanges.
Good jab again, and the 1-2. They've been the punches that have worked so well here for Odori. Just the straight, conventional shots.
Been a good round this for Garcia. Well, a better round for him.
Yeah. Oh, lovely right uppercut there from Garcia. Took it well though, Odori, but he had to take it, and the body shot as well there from Garcia.
Fair play to Garcia. May on paper have looked a drop in class for Odori, but it is another hard night. It is another tough opponent, and it is another good fight that Odori's in.
Garcia is clearly better than what his record suggests. He has to make a living, so he's probably taking up a lot of prospects around, isn't he, rather than winning. But because he can punch a bit now and again, he catches them and he gets the job done. But against Odori, he's going against a guy who has good jab, good fundamentals, good timing and rhythm to his work. Tad upright at times and had to work a little bit harder than he wanted to in that round, I thought, Odori, but still, I still think he's done enough to win the round, and he's boxing well so far tonight.
Gordon Charlesworth, a former boxer himself, actually, in the corner of Louis Odori. What a project he's got to work with there as we move into round 4 of the scheduled 6. Unbeaten in 7 so far, Odori. He's been in a couple of cracking fights. Southern Area title fights. He won that against Marley Mason. He just wore down Mason in a really good, grueling fight back in February, and then a few months later he defended it against Jeff Ofori. Hurt Ofori a couple of times, including in the closing seconds of that particular fight. Another cracker.
And a good round here, Odori, as well. It's that shot though from Garcia.
It's the left hook and the uppercut. Those are the shots, aren't they, for Garcia?
But up to that point, Odori was lining him up for every shot he threw. Against that little lean back, just getting into a little bit of trouble there, Odori.
Committed to that right hand, didn't quite pay off for him. Jab is terrific.
Yeah.
Strong, heavy, purposeful.
And again there with the right hand. Garcia just looking to roll forward here. Look at that. Nice loose left hook. Ooh, not far off with that uppercut there. Oh, nice little uppercut left hook there from Garcia. As well when he gets in close. Oh, good shot.
Big right hand there from Garcia. This has turned into a fight. Jab's been good this round though from Odori. He did slightly shake his head when he got back on his stool, didn't he? The end of the previous round, Odori. I don't know if he was just slightly frustrated at himself. Don't know if he's maybe picked up a little niggle or just a bit frustrated that he's not doing all that he's been working on or that he'd hoped to do coming into this one.
He's landed a bit of shots. They've had no effect on Garcia. I think that's maybe what the frustration lies a little bit. And Garcia's come on as the rounds have gone on. He's got a little bit stronger, hasn't he, Garcia? A little bit more effective.
I think Garcia's a tasty opponent if the setup's right.
That's good there from Odori, looking to work away. Not getting despondent if the shot misses. He's still looking to finish the combination off.
It's good from Odori, dipping defensively in some of those exchanges. Well, this is raced along, isn't it? Raced along to round 5 coming up.
And it's been a really competitive fight as well. Odori's winning, I think that's quite clear, but I think the last couple of rounds have been quite difficult for him. Garcia's tried to push him back, and when the pace is slowed down, Garcia's upped his work rate a little bit, landed some lovely, clever shots as well. But the jab and the 1-2s on the line from Odori have been the difference to me throughout the fight. Strong, good timing on the punch as well, accurate with the work.
Into round 5 then. Garcia comes out at the start of this round with a bit of intent again. Ooh, good right hand, short right hand came in there, but Garcia is full of it.
Good little watch this, isn't it? Oh, good left hook there from Odori there. Just maybe then the legs do a little bit of a dance there from Garcia.
Yeah, whether it was the power, whether he was slightly off balance, but undeterred, Garcia's trying to push forward here. His output has increased. The desire and intensity's just gone up a notch too. Maybe the feeling is that if they can get on the front foot against Odori, maybe perhaps that they think that increases their chance.
Yeah, I think Garcia coming forward was making a more difficult night. More of a difficult night, I should say, for Odori.
Though he does have plenty of amateur pedigree and experience to back up Odori. Early on in his professional career, he won a Haringey Box Cup a couple of years ago. National champion, represented England, plenty of amateur pedigree.
That's a lovely jab.
Ooh. Yeah, just a little careless there, wasn't he?
Trying to finish the round strong here. Odori, and he needs to as well, I think, in this round. It's been a good round for Garcia.
Yeah, he's been busy, hasn't he? He's trying to outland Odori. He had that really good start. He landed a couple of eye-catching shots, and Odori just trying to quell the fire a little. Terrific pace.
Yeah, it's been non-stop, isn't it? There's been a gap in the work in this round. Oh, lovely feet there from Garcia. Oh, good shot there from Garcia.
And a couple back from Odori as they go head-to-head, chest-to-chest at the end of that one. Well, it always had the potential to be this tonight, and I think Odori's style has kind of brought out the best in Garcia. When Garcia's able to show his best, then he's more than capable.
Well, he was forced to fight, so he wasn't overwhelmed. Now he fancies the fight. There's a big difference, isn't there? I think the last couple of rounds have been decent. That last one, especially there for Garcia, which I think he won. Makes it in the 6th round. He's won that last one. If he picks up another one, this round is quite pivotal.
Second half, 6th and final round.
Here we go then. I'm not expecting much different from the previous 5, in truth. It's been a really good pace.
Yeah. A good watch, isn't it?
Yeah. A really fast 1-2 that from Odori. And again.
Doesn't need to load up. They'll just go back to those nice ones, do right down the line, turn the shoulder into the right hand, so it's nice and straight. That's what was giving you the success in those early rounds. But it's not giving up too much ground. I think that's what. I think with the pace slowing a little bit, he started giving up ground. That's what gave Garcia a little bit of momentum in his favour.
And also he's almost better at that kind of 3/4 distance, isn't he? Where he can get that jab off. And I think as the fight's got a little bit closer, or they've got a bit closer, it's maybe given Garcia a little bit more of a chance than perhaps he deserves.
Yeah, I think you're right there. There's a lovely jab there from Odori again, real strong, solid left hand.
He's what a puzzle for the matchmakers, isn't he, Garcia?
He is, yeah, just caught Odori with a lovely left hook just then, just as Odori was throwing.
Yeah, I love a nice counter. Oh, there's that uppercut again. It's been the left hook and the uppercuts have been the danger shots to worry about for Odori. He did come back with a little counter right of his own, and maybe just to try and put Garcia back in his place. But he is one for the matchmakers, isn't he, Garcia? Because you can tell your fighter when he's in the other corner, listen, you can win, you should win. If you're a decent prospect like Odori, but you've got to be switched on.
Yeah, you have, yeah. I tell you what, and if you're a bully, if you're a fragile bully, if anyone knows what that means, you can bully, but you can't really take it. This is not the opponent for you. Odori's coped with the pressure really well. He hasn't been pushing him back now. This last round here, Odori.
Well, he's accustomed to being in these kind of fights, in truth. He's had really grueling battles, his last 2.
Again, got caught with the left hook, but took it really well, mind, to Odori's credit. Got that mouth open, but took it flush. It's a good 1-2. And again, lovely right hand. Again, that straight right hand on the middle is a much more effective punch than that. Putting all the weight and all the effort into that looping right hand.
Left hook. Again, just a wobble of the feet, probably balance more than anything else from Garcia. And a stirring finish just as they started. Really cracking 6-rounder that was. I think we're getting accustomed to Odori being in those kind of fights. I don't know if he bargained for it ahead of tonight, but he certainly got it, and he's got that kind of style that brings it out in his opponents, which is a treat for us and it's a treat for you.
But again, though, another one. What a good learning fight for him. Again, it's just going to accelerate his career so much. But this is a guy who knows so many. He's such a good technically, such a good fighter. I think Garcia offensively. That he'll make you think and he'll counter your shots and you'll learn about habits and patterns of movements and what you have to do to be far more effective. I think this fight, for me, stresses out for him and his team where he's good and where he's not so good, I think, as well for Odori. But again, Jeff Afori, him, these are learning fights beyond where you should be right now, I think. I certainly do think that. But I think he's a real talent, Odori. Loads to work with, but loads already in his locker, and that's always a sign of a potential champion.
Absolutely. He's been in the kind of fights, the kind of style of fights that you almost expect in a British title fight.
You know what happens? You've got to be careful with too many miles on the clock as well, so it's a difficult balance. But what it means as well is when he goes in his first 10 rounds, the 12 round or whatever, he won't panic so much about being in a bit of a war because he's had them already and he knows how he reacts to that.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 6 rounds of boxing, we go to the referee scorecard. Referee Kevin McIntyre scores the bout 59-56. And your winner, still undefeated, Louis Odori.
Good fight. Odori gets the win. moves to 8-0. I suppose the question I'm wondering now, and I'll get Barry to maybe answer this after we've heard from Louis in conversation. Quality. The Tank Davis back somersault. But the question I'll put out there now, and Barry can mull it over, and we'll talk about it when we come back. He's been in 3 relatively hard fights, Odori. I'm wondering, and I suspect he's just been quite hard matched, but could it also be because of his style that it lends himself to getting in these kind of wars? So that's the question I'm going to put to Barry when we come back. Let's hear from Louise with Ali.
Louis, you moved to 8-0. A tough 6 rounds in there. Just talk me through the performance.
That's exactly what I needed. I only started listening in the last round, sort of did my own thing. That's what I need to get the ring rust off and to go back to winning titles for next year for sure.
You were a late addition to this card. What did you want to showcase in there? Was it just to get some more rounds under your belt? Get some more rounds before next year. I am a better fighter than I was for my last fight in May, which was a long time ago. Obviously, I've had a baby since then and that. And that was just a bit of ring rust. What you saw in the last round is what I can do for 10 usually. And that'll come next year, or one of these shows. What were the instructions coming from the corner that you finally listened to in the last round?
Be smart, use my jab, my right hand. Even though I'm the smaller fighter, my jab, my right hand's better than anyone who's taller than me anyway. So use the straight shots, and but sometimes I like to mix it, because it's just who I am.
So now you've got this fight out the way, what is next for 2025 for you?
I'll be one of the main events on one of the shows. I'll be one of the main events. I'll take a good fight, because that's what I usually do. And that's why he was a perfect opponent. Very strong, very durable, and someone who, was a tough ask to try and really put the shots into. And yeah, next year it'll be title fights and on main event on one of these shows.
Final words to the supporters in here. There's quite a lot of them tonight.
Yeah. It don't matter how full it is. They're the loudest. Always the loudest, that's for sure.
Well done, great to have you on the show.
Thank you very much.
So, Louis Odori, looking forward to next year. So, Barry, in answer to that question, his style, bringing the hard fights, or maybe the matches that he's been put in?
I think it's a little bit of both. I think his style will dictate that he's always an exciting fight. If the guy has the resistance to cope with it, otherwise he'll just run over you. But also the matches we had. Marty Mason was a good match, I think. Both young, both good records. But then to go from that to Jeff Odori, a guy who's in a 10-round fight. You haven't put a championship fight there and dragging down a 4 round or 6 round, where for you it's better for you and worse for him. You box a 10 rounds where he has time to work to do his job, and you still beat him. And then against Garcia, his record will disguise how good he actually is. We know, but when he really fancies it, he's a hard man to beat. And so I think he's been match hard with a view to him being a champion relatively soon. He's 24, so they think time is on his side, but they want to get him in there before he gets to 26.
Rounds in the super middleweight division, and now please welcome to the ring Christian Lopez Flores.
We move on. But this one at super lightweight, 140 pounds, and Christian Lopez, the 32-year-old. Pretty tough and reliable, 65 fights in to his career. He has stopped 12 of his 14 wins, and only a handful of times has he been stopped. In fact, only once in the last couple of years. So, he's been the distance with a British title champion, not so long ago. So, pretty tough and reliable opponent tonight for Jimmy Phillips.
Please welcome his opponent to the ring, Phillips.
Making his way to the ring, it's Phillips, the boxing licence and to get his professional career underway. He did that on one of his top-tier shows back in September when he got a good 6 rounds against Stephen Vincent, and here he is making a very quick return to action towards the end of the year.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout scheduled for 6 3-minute rounds in the super middleweight division. This bout is brought to you by Johnny Clark of Top Tier Boxing and sponsored by Insulation, Synergy Direct, Triple Solar, and Next Gen Enterprises. This bout is sanctioned by the British Boxing Board of Control. Your area representative, Alan Spelling, and your timekeeper at the bell, Mark Shannon, and your third man in charge of the action in the ring, A-star referee, John Latham. And now, ladies and gentlemen, introducing to you first, fighting out of the red corner. He's wearing the black and gold. His official weight of 10 stones, 4 pounds. He has a record of 65 fights, 49 losses, 2 draws, 14 wins, and 12 of those wins coming by way of knockout. Hailing from Sinaloa, Mexico, fighting out of Bratislava, Slovakia, introducing Christian Lopez Flores. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner. He's wearing the black and yellow. His official weight of 10 stones, bang on. He is currently undefeated with 1 win. Hailing from Chatham, Kent, England, United Kingdom, introducing Tuve Godzilla Phillips.
Right, lads, you know, expect from you both, you obey me instructions at all times. When I take a break, you both quickly defend yourselves at all times, and the best luck to you both. Touch gloves.
Here we go then. Second chance for us to get a look at Tuve Phillips. He made a winning debut back in September. Made a good start in that fight against Stephen Vincent as well. He had him in a bit of bother in the second round and looked like he was going to make a bit of a statement, and then kind of fight settled into a bit of a pattern. So it'll be interesting to see how much he learned from that experience. Barry under the lights, smaller gloves, all the things that go along with a professional debut. They're maybe more of a mental test than a physical one.
Yeah, no, I think he just tensed up a little bit, you know, because he was just kind of trying a little bit too hard, just pushing a little bit with the shots. I think, you know, he showed he was a good fight there, and I think we'll see a better win now tonight. Now he's gone through that, you know, the nerves of your first fight. Now you know a little bit more what it's about, and he'll realise that, you know, that he has more time than he thinks. He can relax a little bit more and still have the speed and the work ethic to get the job done.
Good sharp start from Phillips. And certainly that patience was in evidence when we saw him last time around. Maybe just almost too much so. Maybe just waiting a little bit before he was delivering his shots last time.
And I think because he was, you know, a little bit too tense, then you just don't feel right to let it be. You've got to be smooth with your shots. Your upper body's got to be really relaxed, really, and then you explode into the punches. I just think because he was a bit too tense, I thought at the time, he just couldn't get the shots off when he wanted to, or when he needed to more. But he was still boxed well, and he still won clearly enough, and all those things. But you know, if you're looking for things to get better at, I think that was certainly one of them.
Looks like he's found his distance pretty early on.
See, and again, no, he doesn't have to do anything too much here. You know, he's pressuring Flores here with the front foot. You know, working behind the jab every time Flores moves, just to make him reset, and just force your opponent to make the mistake. So he's in the right position to make that pay. If you can get him to just fall into that trap. A little step back there. The front foot doesn't move so much from Phillips. He takes a step back with the back foot. And that will allow him then, if he's able, to push back and land with a pretty tasty right hand.
think the key here against Lopez is going to be how he pins him down, and then how he goes about setting up the attacks. Lopez trying to be busy.
They know where to find me. No one thinking it like this. You can love me or hate me.
Here we take a look at the relative records. You can see that Lopez Flores has got so much more experience in 66 fights, and that was the second for Timmy Phillips. A bit of an amateur career as well, little bit. He got a taste of these top tier shows when he came ringside to watch Gideon Jones a few months back. He's been part of it now himself. Excited to be part of it. He's got plenty of sparring experience up and down the land as well against some good names, so he's been well prepared for these kind of matches. And now into the second round of a Schedule 6. It's just about slotting it all together and putting all of that behind the scenes experience to good use.
I think you've seen with Lopez Flores that if Phillips doesn't make any silly mistakes, he can be a little bit more adventurous. Or just a little, just let that right hand go a little bit more. It's just a 1-2 little step back, 1-2 again. You can get that second phase of attack in pretty quickly. Then he can maybe start opening him up a little bit then.
Well, he's certainly upped the speed and the intensity of the attack at the start of this. Like the first round was just have a look, and now he's had a look. There's a bit more sharpness, a bit more devil in the attack. A nice little body shot there with the right hand from Phillips.
Just double up that left hand jab. Up, down, and right hand over the top. That's like a little bit of body work there from Phillips. And again, there just leaning on that back foot, making Lopez Flores fall a little bit short again with his work.
Very composed, very measured. That's a nice left hand lead to the pit of the stomach there from Phillips. He is measured, isn't he?
Yes. He takes that little step back as we've seen there, but sometimes just do what it's intended to do. You're doing that to make him miss to throw that right hand like a bullet. Just do it, because your balance is good as well. You're not going to fall over the front foot. You're not going to make that mistake. So throw it. If it doesn't land, you just bring your shoulders back and you can start again.
A bit more menace with the front foot here from Phillips in this round. Very solid and composed from Phillips. What will be interesting now as these rounds go by is, have you got the gears? Can you go through the gears?
Yeah, just up and down the tempo. That's all you need to do. Good acceleration of pace in that right hand.
Yeah, a little uppercut. Caught him with an uppercut there too in that exchange. Bit sharper, a bit more menace from Phillips in that second round.
Just come outside, late night, take your time, get your life,
It's been work again there from Phillips. A little bit busier than he was in the first round. Then his hands go a little bit more, still patient and thoughtful in his work. So caught a little bit at the end of the round there from Lopez Flores, but overall he takes the pace and boxing nicely at the minute.
The career's more at stake when you win your promise. Fuck that paper, baby, my face on the dotted line. I've been flying out of town for some peace of mind. It's like always, such a good job. I've been focused on the future, never on right now. But I'm sipping like kombucha, you can pick up brown. Second time, round 3.
And of course, the WBA bantamweight champion of the world, Nina Hughes. We couldn't get a fight now if she paid somebody, which is just one of those terrible things in boxing.
And of course, will be a link, Nina Hughes, to Lily Winch, who's coming up a bit later on. Really looking forward to seeing her in action.
Segues are everywhere.
Yeah. Well, I think this is a good opponent for Phillips to look good tonight.
Yeah, it suits his style, isn't it? That stalking style that he has, Phillips.
There's not much on the shots coming back, so I think you can afford to be a little bit more aggressive and to try a few things. Left hand, and he just clipped him with that little right, and just they weren't fully connecting those shots, but they still induced a little bit of discomfort there in Lopez.
Even there from Phillips, he just kept the distance really nice. They didn't get too close to allow Lopez Flores to hold.
Oh,
good shot.
That was the shot he tried at the end of the previous round. Maybe just starting to fight a little looser.
Just doubling up that jab will help him a little bit more. So stand up the pace a little bit here now. Phillips, good work. Yeah, still keeping that patience, but closing the gap a little bit more effectively.
Right hands of retaliation there from Lopez Flores.
That's a nice little combination there though from Phillips on the left uppercut, sweeping right hand.
Good defence from him there too. Good defence. I think it's there for him. It's just how he puts it all together.
Still showing some nifty footwork there, isn't he? Lopez Flores. Oh, good shot.
Yeah, he's looked for that counter left kind of hook come uppercut a couple of times, and he's landed it quite a few times too as well. Charlie Phillips just started to get through in that round. It might just be a platform for
There's a good bit of work there from Phillips. Solid, just pressure with that front foot, but a bit more active with the hands there. The infield just out just swiveling that body a little bit more there, giving more angles with the uppercuts with the right hand, and later on the wrong with that left hook to the body as well. Shows some real quality in his work in that round there with Phillips. With more strength. He's a bit busy in general, so he's a much better fighter. He just relaxes, lets his hands go, and I think, you know, what we didn't see in his debut, we're seeing here tonight.
Seconds out, round 4.
Into round 4 then. Can Phillips build on that previous round where he started to get through with a few more meaningful punches, just up to tempo, and I think that's a key facet for him. And the right hand, it looks like he's come out to build on that, on the successes that he enjoyed in the previous round.
Well, he's quite naturally good at not closing his own, suffocating his own work. So when he does up the pace, he doesn't get too close to allow Lopez Flores to hold.
starting to put his shots together now.
He's much better, isn't he, when he punches in combinations. There's that double jab there. Just need the right hand over the top. Just see the shoulders are more relaxed. Everything's just more smooth about his work, isn't it?
He missed with that first right hand, but there was a follow-up. Reminder how effective it can be when you're throwing combinations. But he's trying to suffocate the space for Lopez.
Yeah, without smothering his own ability to let his hands go as well, which is really, really good. It's a lovely uppercut there from Phillips, and again with that right hand over the top. You see how he swivels those shoulders to find the angle.
Fair play to the Mexican though. He's managed to ride some of these bumpy moments. Just a little swelling on that left cheekbone under the left eye.
Making Lopez Flores work hard here, isn't he?
Yeah, that's exactly it. He's
without doing much himself.
There's a kind of pressure. There's a nice long right hand from as well.
Yes, really good pressure fighting here from Phillips.
And just sapping a bit of the energy, making him use the legs. There was definitely an intent to build on that third round, wasn't there? Got through with a couple of shots. I suspect that's the thing you've got to consider as well. That, you know, prospects will come into these fights where there's over 4 rounds, they get tonight 6 rounds, and they will be looking to build layers as the fight goes on, to maybe pick up the pace, try something different as each round ticks by, rather than necessarily just the same or the one thing right from the very start.
Having that fight manager is very important, but that's not something that everyone is born with. You know, I think you have to just box your own way, of course. But I mean, to increase the pressure in every round is easy to say, hard to do it, and to get it right, not to rush. You know, he goes out as a good third round, in the fourth round he goes like a lunatic trying to get the stoppage, and then in this next one now he'll be knackered. So you know, he increased the tempo there without doing much himself. But made Flores work hard. Now I think he can put his foot on the gas a little bit more and maybe try and get that stoppage if he could against a guy who very rarely gets stopped. And in only a second fight, that would be a real statement of intent.
And I think because of the composure and the efficiency that he fights with, he has a style that doesn't appear to be draining the batteries. So I think he might be able to afford to put his foot down a little in these closing rounds.
Yes, of course, yeah. Cause if it doesn't work, he can go back to what he does there and be more economical. That's good shots.
Yeah, there was a nice right hand to the body at the start of that.
Again, Lopez Flores is blocking most of these shots, but still, he'll be feeling the weight and they'll be draining his energy, draining that tank.
He's been forced to fight off the back foot now as well, Lopez Flores.
See, if he fakes to the body here, Phillips, and then literally wings that right hand over the top, almost like a Zuma Nelson, he doesn't bend it, just wings it over the top. That might be the shot that puts Lopez Flores to sleep.
Punches through the gloves with that right hand, and then whips in a similar shot from the side.
Because he's moving to his left onto your right hand. So if you just if you jab up and jab down, even if you don't commit to the shot, just make him move away, and then just dip that shoulder, just throw a big bowling right hand over the top. Let him walk onto it. See, he almost dipped his legs there to throw it, didn't he? I think just needs to disguise it a little bit more before he lets it go.
Yeah, there are just little times, little periods of play where you almost sense he's waiting for the perfect shot. And
oh, good shot there from Lopez Flores, yeah.
A couple of right hands from him. I think he's had to. He's been forced to fight because of the front foot pressure, and he is kind of fighting his way out of this.
Just took his foot off the gas a little bit here, mind Phillips, I think. He's still walking around making Lopez Flores work. He hasn't been so active with his hands. Got a cut into the left eye there of
Lopez.
Mexican.
Yeah, it's almost looking like he might start to bleed now. He was a swelling before. Now it's almost developing into a bit of a gash. But he did work hard in that round to at least stem the flow and release some of the pressure that Phillips was applying through the third and fourth rounds.
Yeah, he's had to be careful throughout the fight, doesn't he? Lopez Flores, the pressure's been quite intense here from Phillips. Even when he's not throwing his punches, that front foot just making Lopez feel a little bit panicky throughout. But Phillips just didn't let his hands go as much as he probably should have in that round. But I think this last round now he'll probably put his foot to the pedal and try and finish strong. It's been a good performance from a guy only in the second contest, man. I think he's dictated the pace, controlled everything from the centre of the ring quite effectively tonight.
Second time, 6 and final round.
Here we go then, sixth and final round, second professional outing for Timmy Phillips, the 24-year-old. He's come out in this final round to looking to bully his opponent. The Mexicans can see the finishing line, can he?
He can, but he knows he can't afford to make a mistake here. He's boxed really well tonight, isn't he? I mean, he didn't box bad in his first fight, Phillips, but this is a different guy altogether, isn't it? Much different.
Yeah, much less kind of waiting for something to happen tonight.
Just relaxed a little bit, wasn't he? And just you'd be able to see the speed and the fluency. Good right hand there though from Lopez Flores. No, but the patience is there. So I think that's his natural style. He's never going to be a guy who throws a million punches around. But you've shown that acceleration of pace now and again. He's up the tempo when he's had to, and he's strong. Naturally strong, I think.
Yeah, and well balanced.
Yeah.
He's happy to close the gap now to get close.
See, even there, the distance. You should see the distance he's throwing from there. It's not too close that it can be held on too easily. It allows him to, and that allows him to work if he wants to, and also to get the leverage and the turn into the shot to make it a powerful punch. See, it's here again. Most people in their second fight they'd be almost chest to chest and smothered in their own work, but he doesn't do that.
Just a little word from the referee to Lopez.
showing all that experience here to stay out of trouble, isn't he?
Yeah,
the Mexican.
Yeah, and he's been busy. He's battle hard, and this is 15th fight of 2024. So he's been out regularly.
Oh, good right hand, chopping right hand there from Phillips.
And happy to hold on. That was one of the things the referee was just having a word with towards the tail end of it, but it looks like the Mexican might even have a chance to get out once more before the end of the year at his current run rate. And it's another sequence of priceless rounds early on for Jimmy Phillips.
I think it was a good performance from him. I thought he got through anyway. He looked a much better fight than he did from his first contest. Nice and composed. He dictated everything. Almost every single bit of action that happened tonight was on his ground, which is quite impressive against a guy who's a seasoned campaigner, even though he's a guy who comes to just give you the rounds. But Phillips dictated and made it difficult for him. Even when Lopez Flores was moving around the ring, Phillips didn't cut it off massively effectively, but didn't follow him around the ring. Just took his time when he got in the corner and he worked away just at the right pace. Judging the distance was good. That was a really good performance from a guy in only his second contest.
The 6 rounds of boxing, we go to the referee scorecard. Referee John Latham scores the bout 60-55. And your winner, still undefeated, Toomey Godzone Phillips.
Run for them life. When I step into the jungle, say they wanna group up. They better move up, never gonna win a Royal Rumble. But when I come through, you know what I love to. I send shots for your team and leader. I make a witness decide to vacate. The war's getting sweet just like a Ribena. Yo, listen, you hear that? Killers in the jungle. Killers in the jungle. Killers in the jungle. Yo, listen, you hear that? Killers in the jungle. Killers in the jungle. Killers in the jungle.